Joining me this morning is Susan Carpenter, CEBS, principal with Compass Directions LLC, a Medicare advisory firm serving clients all over the United States. Now, Susan has over 30 years of experience in employee benefits and Medicare. Her firm has been nationally recognized as a leader in Medicare education. I understand, Susan. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I understand Medicare enrollment is just around the corner.
That's right. Medicare annual enrollment is October 15th to December 7th each year. And that's the time when every person on Medicare can make a plan change for the next year. So for 2026, individuals that are new to Medicare, they can enroll year round.
Now, what's new for 2026?
Well, that's a loaded question. Uh, First of all, like everything else, costs are going up. So, Medicare Part B premiums, for example, currently $185 a month, are going up to a little over $200 a month is the projection. Medicare prescription drug maximum out of pocket, it's only going up $100 from 2,000 to 2,100, and again, that's really beneficial that finally we have a maximum out of pocket on the prescription costs. Then, in terms of Medicare itself, on September 30th, Medicare eliminated coverage for telehealth visits. And that means that patients that are primarily in rural areas or even those homebound patients do not have access to their physicians via telehealth. I know that that is being debated, and hopefully that will be restored back to Medicare coverage. At the end of the year, Medicare is also making some changes. Currently, in some of the Medicare Advantage plans, individuals have access to some things such as healthy food allowances, utility allowances, and going forward in 2026, some of those are going to be really restricted, primarily to those people that have a chronic condition. And then there are some big plan changes. Now, this is the part I hope your listeners really key in on this because nationwide there are some large Medicare Advantage plans, also prescription drug plans that are actually consolidating plans. Some are eliminating some of the plans that are out there. Um, so what happens is if you happen to be an individual that is in say a Medicare Advantage plan that is being discontinued for 2026, chances are pretty good that you will be mapped. Your insurance carrier will move your enrollment to another one of the plans they offer. However, there are a few people nationwide that are literally going to find themselves without a plan, meaning the carrier does not have a suitable plan to map them to. So those folks are going to get an actual notice of plan termination. Now, the good news, while eliminating your plan sounds very bad, the good news behind that is if you are one of those unfortunate folks who is having your plan fully eliminated, you get the option of supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. So what that does is open up a brand new special enrollment period. Um, Let's see some other changes that probably your listeners would like to hear about. Some of the Medicare Advantage plans are going to start requiring referrals. Referrals primarily to specialists. That's something that over the last few years we've seen them migrate away from, and now they're going back to it. So I think that's going to be a surprise for some folks in 2026 that they actually have to get a referral. And I guess in addition, I do have some positive comments on the Medicare Advantage plans. We are seeing some of the regional carriers are really expanding their offerings, so this is great. In addition, we are seeing more Medicare Advantage plans with Part B give back. And that means that you're getting a credit every month, which helps offset a portion of your Medicare Part B expense. And more plans for people with chronic conditions. So I think you're going to see a trend for 2026 that some of the plans are really condition driven, meaning you have to have those conditions to be able to enroll in that plan. But they do have some extra benefits, hopefully, to help people with those chronic conditions.
Susan,
So,
yeah, so that sounds like a lot. That's that's a mouthful. So, what do you recommend for our viewers?
well, first of all, I'd recommend looking for something called an annual notice of change. I guarantee you it's a piece of mail that a lot of folks have overlooked, probably for years, but every carrier is required to send out an annual notice of change. So if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan or a prescription drug plan, they're required to tell you what the changes are going to be for the next year. And in particular, on the prescription drug plans, they're required to indicate to you if one of your medications would be falling off the formulary or potentially just moving to a different tier. So that could be a cost increase or decrease depending on how that medication, which tier it moves to. So I think, I like to say, go to your mailbox and look for that annual notice of change. If for some reason you don't receive it, all of you, the carriers have those available. You should be able to log in, or just call the customer service number on the back of your ID card and get that annual notice of change. Second thing is, I would say this is the year that you do not want to just let your prescription drug plan or your Medicare Advantage plan just automatically roll over. Okay. Many years, people just say, oh, I like what I have and I'm just going to keep it. So they don't even bother to look or evaluate it. This would not be the year to do that. There are, again, some significant plan changes. There are some prescription changes. Particularly, we've seen consolidation of the carriers and the plans. So we want to make sure that, first of all, no one ends up without a plan as of January 1st, 2026. And second of all, we want the plan for people that they're enrolled in for 2026 to be the right plan. So we're strongly recommending do an evaluation. Of course, we are here to help with that. We provide that service. It is a free service to everyone. We will help you evaluate the plan options in your zip code and give you a thumbs up and say, looks like you're on a great plan, or ooh, you might want to consider some other options. And so I recommend definitely this is the year to, do a little due diligence and make sure you're in the right plan for 2026.
Susan, over 10,000 people a day are turning 65 and are new to Medicare. What do you recommend for those people who are new to Medicare?
Well, people that are new to Medicare, first of all, we're seeing lots of folks, turn 65 and continue to work well past 65. So I do recommend, whether you're continuing to work or you're retiring or maybe you retired early, as you approach 65, get some basic information on Medicare. We offer free Medicare 101 Zoom training multiple times a month. We also have lots of great resources on our website. In addition, you can go to medicare.gov. And I recommend that you get some basic information. So that's kind of the first place to start. And then we are happy to talk to you about your particular situation. Maybe your one spouse is continuing to work. One of them would like to go on to Medicare. Everyone seems to have a slightly different situation. So again, looking at, does it make sense continuing on your employer plan or going straight to Medicare? So I think that's where I would start.
Now, where can our viewers go to get in touch with you?
Well, first of all, our website is a great resource, and that is www.compassdirections, llc.com, or they can feel free to call our office, which is 314-449 5767. And again, we're happy to talk to them, direct them to resources, hopefully help them figure out their particular questions or situation.
I've been speaking with Susan Carpenter. She's CEBS principal with Compass Directions LLC, a Medicare advisory firm serving clients all over the United States. Susan, it is that time of year where things can be very confusing for people over 65. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend.
Oh, thank you.
All right, how did that go?